What makes a successful home? Is it happy, organized, adaptable, functional? Is it measured by the outward success of its occupants or the innate feeling of joy and calm the minute you enter your space? Maybe it's a mix of both. In today's video, I'm sharing the 7 habits of highly successful homeowners because home ownership may be the American dream, but there's so much that happens after you close escrow. I'm here to help steer you in the right direction so you're always one step ahead of your home and you're not left wondering, like, how did I even get here? Watch this video to get my top tips on simple habits that you can form today to make your home a source of calm, comfort, and ultimate relaxation. Hello everyone, I'm Khuu, a formally trained certified interior designer, and on this channel we love to talk about all things design. So you bought a house, what's next? The first most important habit of every successful homeowner is they always think big picture. I want you to start your home project with a clear picture of what you want to achieve. I'm going to treat you like my actual design client. Clients typically call me the minute that they purchase a house, right? You bought the house, you closed escrow, you got the keys, here's where you call your interior designer. I always do a walkthrough consultation to discern what is it that you want to do in here? What is the big picture and your ultimate dream for this space? Are you more concerned with how the house looks or how it feels? Or do you really need a healthy mix of both? Successful homeowners make a master list of their dream home interior. They start to chunk it down room by room. The experience always starts at the front door. Is the entry experience or the foyer carved out exactly like you want it to? Is there a natural flow that goes from the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, to all the private areas like the bathrooms and bedrooms? Now let's talk renovation. Typically when you purchase a home, you just put down a 20% down payment. I don't know that you have funds left to renovate, but that's where the first issue comes in. Successful homeowners know that they need to set aside a chunk of their budget on renovations and remodeling the home, just to get it to the point where it's actually livable. You can create your dream home on a vision board. It could be like a physical vision board where you tape cutouts, almost like a scrapbook type of collage, and you look at it every single day, right? This is the vision of what your dream kitchen looks like. Now, you could also do it with a digital mood board. I also save a lot of images off of design blogs, Instagram. Wherever you can find inspiration, just bank it. It's so important for you to write down your goals with clearly defined outcomes. I have a really great video on the channel now. It's called How to Set Home Goals. It's not just about setting home goals, but really realistically achieving them and kind of chunking it down so the process doesn't feel so overwhelming. Always think about prioritizing your needs and how you live on the daily. Function is just so important, and that's the first step in interior design. The next habit of highly successful homeowners is that they are proactive about home maintenance. I've been a homeowner for almost 10 years now, and I am on top of all my daily DIYs. Successful homeowners don't put things off that can be done right away. You see the paint chipping on the walls, there's a little scratch here, that little cabinet handle is like a little wobbly. There's always a mountain of maintenance issues that need to be addressed in every home. Design is never done. I absolutely understand this. Being able to fix one tiny thing that you see right away is like one thing, but also being able to anticipate future needs is like a whole nother issue. I always tell clients to budget for everything that's behind the walls as well. So often we see like these beautiful homes, they're filled with really beautiful furniture, really amazing materials, but what's happening behind the walls? We've got HVAC, we've got gutters, we have plumbing, we have pipes, we have gas lines. There's just so much to consider that you don't even see. Successful homeowners anticipate these issues and they actually budget for what's in front of the walls as well as what's behind the walls. Being proactive about home maintenance means you're also focusing on 4 key areas of the home. 1 is physical. How does the home look? 2 is mental. How does the home support your daily needs? 3, we're talking about the social, emotional aspects of the home. How do you use it? Do you entertain? Is it a gathering spot for your family? If you live alone, do you also work from home and the house becomes also like your makeshift office space? And 4 is all about the spiritual aspect of the home. Like, how do you feel in your space? I was really inspired by Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where he coined the term sharpen the saw. Sharpening the saw in home ownership means taking care of your home home so that you can be more effective in all other areas of your life, like career and relationships. Also, maintaining your home makes you become more resilient as you're challenged by like the daily ins and outs, right? If you see something that needs to be fixed, fix it right away. I always keep tools inside my home, not in the garage, not in the backyard shed. I mean, it's literally right in my living room. I don't have to dig through my garage toolbox. It's all here, conveniently placed in my home. I also decant huge gallons of paint into like small little plastic bins. It makes these small touch-up jobs so much easier. So not only are you keeping your tools in the house, but you're also keeping like mini paint supplies in the house as well. Which leads me to my next habit of every successful homeowner is to brush up on your basic DIY skills, because you know there's a YouTube tutorial for that. You don't have to be a homeowner to learn basic DIY skills right now. Being self-sufficient and self-reliant in your home builds confidence. It gives you peace of mind about possible repairs down the line. I mean, those huge repairs that you can't do yourself. But at the same time, it saves you time and money. I mean, who doesn't love that? I do all of my own home repairs. I mean, I know it sounds like really gnarly, but this is what I was doing in my studio. You know, I was practicing. I was learning how to use a power tool. I learned how to install curtain rods. I learned how to swap out my handles. You know, you start small. We're not saying that you need to bust out like a huge old rotating saw. I mean, just start with a power drill. You can invest your time and no money at all by just watching a very simple YouTube tutorial. You can learn how to paint, install picture frames, install shelves. I mean, these are all the things that every homeowner should have under their tool belt. I have actually dedicated an entire DIY playlist to like what's in my toolbox, how to hang up pictures like a pro, how to install a gallery wall. And let me tell you, it's so much easier than you think, and it's not quite as daunting. Another great practice is hightailing it to your local IKEA and just buy something. I don't care what you buy, but the minute that you bring home this box and you start assembling this piece of furniture, it can be like a tiny little side table with like 100 different like steps, you are going to feel like such a DIY whiz by the time you're done with it. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about building momentum, building that confidence to help you tackle larger DIY projects like hardwiring a light, which I've done before myself. It's actually not that hard. If we're talking about DIY, I want to put my money where my mouth is. I mean, this is all from my guest bathroom renovation. When I initially set out to make over the entire guest bathroom, I was quoted upwards between $7,000 and $10,000 to remove the tile, replace it with old tile, to remove all of the old fixtures, replace it with new fixtures. I wanted a brand new sink vanity as well. I actually did all of the legwork myself. I stenciled the floors, I rehabbed the walls, I removed the pedestal sink. I mean, with the help of my husband, that thing was so heavy. I got a brand new cabinet in, changed all the faucets myself, and this entire makeover cost me just under $2,500 with everything brand new. $2,500 to $10,000, I saved so much and I was ready to move on to other spaces. So one of the most important habits of every successful homeowner is to learn these basic DIY skills yourself, or at least invest the time to watch a really simple YouTube tutorial. The next habit of every successful homeowner is that they create a room routine. I've actually made a living out of telling people how to use their space. I know that sounds like really wonky, but just imagine this, okay? You've moved from like a 1-bedroom apartment and now you have like a sprawling 4-bedroom home. Most of the time, people walk into the space and they're like, Julie, what do I even do in here? And the first thing I always tell them is to act like it's the weekend. Let's set your stuff down right at the entry and walk through this space. What do? How does your family naturally use the space? Where do you go after the initial points of entry? It's your home, it's your life. You need to understand the systems that will need to be put in place so that it creates more balance and reduces stress in the home. Creating a room routine that keeps you organized and clutter-free is one of the best habits that you can adopt in a home. Keep these 4 priorities in mind as you're establishing a room routine for every single space in the home. What will make the space function better, more organized, feel good, and look nice? I want you to walk through every room in the home and take notes of how you use the space. If it sounds like a really daunting challenge, that's actually a clue to me that you need to feel more mindful in your space. If you're like grabbing a notepad right now, you're like, Julie, let's go, let's do this. I want you to first ask yourself, What do I do here? Let's say you step into the entry. A really great room routine for the entry is so simple. It's just to have a valet catch-all. It could be a tray, it could be a large bowl, it could literally just be like your dinner plate, okay? Just set something on your entry valet, your entry console, some type of surface right when you walk through the front door. This routine will set it up so that you have a place to drop your keys, your wallet, your purse, maybe your sunglasses or eyeglasses, and it just keeps everything corralled in one space. Now that's the entry, boom. Check. Move on to the living room. After you have all of your furniture arranged in the way that you love, you're going to isolate one area on the coffee table to introduce a brand new room routine. It's the same concept as your entry. We're trying to corral all the clutter, so it's just dedicated to one area. The central hub of a living room is typically the coffee table. It's kind of like the central area where there's a seating group that's surrounding it, right? So the coffee table should also be clutter-free. But that's also the place where you have all these remote controls, maybe magazines, coffee table books. Now, how do you keep that organized? It's really simple. Get another tray. Trays are life, guys. I call them like vibe trays, life trays. So they really just organize everything that you're doing in one space. Place that tray right in the middle of your coffee table and kind of throw everything in there. That is a room routine that you'll set up for the living room. Moving on to the dining room. I mean, I know all you moms feel me out there. Your kids come home from school and the dining table is like the largest surface area in the home and you kind of just throw everything there. I'm gonna tell you, let's just keep everything clutter-free and look for another drop-off zone that you can dedicate instead of the dining table. This is where the kitchen comes into play. The kitchen is one of those areas that can get disorganized really fast. You also need a hub for your charging stations, right? And all your electronics. For me, that happens in the kitchen as well. So I have a charging station and I also have a little basket there for me to throw like all the junk that can easily pile up. Let's move to the bedroom. The bedroom is one of those areas where I just want peace, I want calm, I don't want it to look cluttered, and I always have one central area that I can kind of throw everything on. It's usually extra seating. It could be an extra lounge chair, an extra ottoman, or better yet, if you're short on space, just like an empty basket. If you find yourself getting dressed in the morning and like you're in a hurry, don't just throw things everywhere. Just throw it on that one single chair, that one ottoman, that one basket. You can even have clothes piled high. You don't even have to get to it throughout the week. You can have that pile growing larger and larger, and by week's end, guess what? The rest of the room looks super clean, but there's only this one little corner that's cluttered that you have to address. That is a successful room routine. It's so unrealistic to clean up as soon as you made that mess. I mean, life just doesn't happen that way. We have schedules, we have responsibilities. Most parents with kids are like always in a hurry. In the bathroom, it's all about that strategic countertop tray. Instead of putting toiletries, your cosmetics splayed all over the countertop, I mean, we know what that looks like. How about something like this instead? What a difference a simple tray makes. Another room routine that I love in the bathroom is simple wall hooks. You might have a towel bar that's already installed for your towel, but having wall hooks also installed on the walls can free up like your robes, extra towels, extra clothes. I love keeping everything off the floor because that's one less thing to clean. Setting these room routines will make you a very successful homeowner because you free up so much time to just live. The primary function of a home is to keep you warm and safe. I get that. It's a place to rest and recharge. But beyond that, you also want to make sure that every single room in the home also has furniture that fulfills its daily function. Having these room routines set in place really reduces the amount of stress that I feel every day. I just want it to feel like a source of inspiration, don't you? The next habit you should adopt if you want to be a highly successful homeowner is to be flexible. There are so many ways to arrive at the same destination. You want to collaborate with your home and live in harmony with your environment. You can't fake function and flow, and you can't force a particular design element in your home when the conditions don't call for it. I love the look of solid oak cabinets, but I live in Hawaii, and the humidity will warp those cabinets before summer even begins. I want to incorporate more biophilic design into my home, but I don't have a green thumb and I can't even keep a cactus alive. You have a kitchen remodel in mind, design and you dream of a marble countertop. You love that look of natural stone. You don't even mind the maintenance and upkeep. However, you don't have the thousands to shell out for this dreamy custom countertop. Why don't you try marble backsplash tiles instead? You can still get that same high-end luxury look, but at a fraction of the cost. Successful homeowners always start with a dream vision in mind, but you know that you have to be flexible and cut costs where you can in order to keep that dream alive. In this case, you want to synergize and work together with your home and the users of the space to come up with optimal creative solutions. Being open-minded to new materials and new ways of installation can not only save you a lot of money in the long run, but it also leads to new insights and solutions that you may not have thought of on your own. The next habit of every successful homeowner is that they plan for the future. This habit is all about setting aside funds for Dream Home 2.0, which is exactly the phase that I'm in right now. 2025 marks a year that I've been a homeowner for 10 years. You know, when we first bought the house, I had set aside like $50,000 on top of our down payment because I was like, you know what I need? I need new floors. I need to knock down some interior walls. I need to retrofit all of these interior spaces. But the bulk of my renovation budget was going to all of the public areas. I needed a brand new kitchen. You know, the old kitchen just wasn't functioning properly at all. This house was built in the late 1950s. I love mid-century design, but there's a whole lot that it's lacking. You know, we didn't have any storage. The AC didn't run to all parts of the home. You know, I had to get new floors, new cabinets. I mean, there was a whole shebang. But that $50,000 ran out really quickly, guys. And I've been sitting with blank white walls for 10 years. I mean, it's not super blank. Clearly, I'm a maximalist. I've got a lot of my pattern, print, and color in there. But before we moved into this house, I had never ever lived with white walls before. So to me, white was such a stark contrast. It felt fresh, it felt new, it felt exciting. But you know what? I'm 10 years into it and now it's feeling really bland, really boring, and depressing. So while I have remodeled some key areas in our home, my home office turned into the girls' room, my garage turned into my studio, my primary bathroom and bedroom got a full makeover, which I still owe you. And I've done some DIYs in the guest bathroom, but now I'm just ready for that next phase. Successful homeowners know that we do have to budget for what's behind the walls as well. We're talking about your heating, ventilation, air conditioning, which is called your HVAC system. You also have to consider all of those plumbing lines that need to be updated to copper piping. You know, back then in the 50s, they didn't have that, you know, so luckily the homeowners before us actually changed out all of that copper piping. So that could have cost me like tens of thousands of dollars down the line. Budgeting for your home means you're investing not only in your home, but also in yourself. Like, we're talking about high quality furniture. You invest in good furniture, you don't need to spend more to replace it down the line. I understand that your style changes, but new upholstery is so less expensive than shelling out all the money for like 8 new dining chairs. And lastly, in order to be effective when you plan for the future, you have to manage your time and your resources to achieve your goals. I am a mom of 2 young toddlers. I mean, the youngest one is actually in daycare now, so at least that kind of frees up some of my morning time, but I only have like a finite chunk of time every day to get all of my tasks done. If I didn't plan effectively, if I didn't organize, if I didn't make and write down these to-do lists, like I don't even know what I would do with myself and my home. And the last and final, most important habit of every successful homeowner is that they never stop improving. You're always on the lookout to optimize areas of your home for full functionality. What this means is that you're carving out all of these room routines, you're setting up the flow of your home so that you take out the guesswork of how each room functions and it always looks tidy and organized. Even though I'm a professional interior designer, it doesn't mean that my home looks polished and flawless all day, every day. I mean, on the contrary, if I set up these room routines, it just means that every single area in my home is tidy, but it might not function fully for what I need in this moment right now. Okay, just think about it. When I bought this home, my husband and I were singles. We hosted and entertained often, but that was for like all of our single friends. Now that all of my friends have kids and I have kids myself, this entry just doesn't flow and function the way I need it to anymore. I need to set aside a chunk of change and budget accordingly for my new entry. What I imagine is like wall-to-wall wallpaper. I really just want this like wow factor introduction into my new home. I love this entry cabinet. It has so much storage, but it's not enough. This storage cabinet houses the girls' shoes, some of my sunglasses, our keys, our wallet, things that we need to get in and out of the door on the fly. But right now, I'm hosting again. So we're hosting like full families. Where's their stuff gonna go? I don't have a whole lot of storage in the home. There's no like entry hallway closet or a coat closet that can kind of tuck in all of my guests' belongings. So I want to optimize my new entry for this like souped up landing zone. I'm constantly thinking about my home's evolution. I mean, it's more reflection and less rumination. Remember that your needs change, conditions change, families grow. How do you want to carve out new spaces or at least optimize old spaces to allow for new growth? I want you to take a good look around the room that you're sitting in right now. What is going to help it feel more lively, more energetic? Or maybe you need it to feel more calming and more relaxing. Just what would make this room better right now? That's it for today's video, everyone. What did you think of the 7 habits of every successful homeowner? Do you agree with my tips? Do you disagree? As a certified interior designer who's been in the industry for almost 2 decades now, I am going to argue that is the function of your home that takes priority over everything else. Definitely not the way you decorate or even what you choose to decorate with. Remember that even if you don't own a home quite yet, adopting these habits now will set you up for home ownership success down the line. I want to end today's video with one of my favorite quotes. Use this journey of forming habits that you love as a way to go beyond just a noble achievement of a goal and to forge a more intimate relationship with your most authentic self. That's from one of my favorite books, You Are a Badass, from Jen Sincero. Here's to designing homes that evolve with us, encourage connections, and nurtures the families that grow within them. Here's what's coming up. We have best home investments for new couples, and our color series is back, everyone. We are decorating with red this time. Clearly, I have love on the brain. I mean, Valentine's Day is coming up. If you like this type of content and you want more videos just like this, I want you to watch this video right here. It is how to love your home even more this year. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.